Hello and welcome to another session where I have to actually turn my headphones down because that woman's voice was very loud in my ears. I don't know why. So we are playing 13th Age, and this is Shards of the Broken Sky, which is a sandbox campaign module for 13th Age from Pelgrane Press. We are playing using this Zoom call that you'll see a recording, but as well we are using the Roll20 platform and its character sheets and so on to manage stuff. So if you're watching this on the YouTubes, you may hear us referring to the map, and sometimes I'll even screen share when I remember, but usually I get caught up in the moment and I forget about that. So we are here with our crew. We are going to be doing a little bit of logistics here at the start. I want to check in with everybody about where they're at, HP and recoveries and all of that stuff, and do icon rolls. So let's start with Malin. Where are you at HP and recovery? Are you at full or are you down?
I think it was the incremental advance. I always take hit points for my incremental advance. So,
okay.
Because I don't think I get hit last round, or at least
No,
once.
I think you actually walked away fairly decently. And it looks like you've got 2 recoveries spent, if I'm reading that right.
Okay, so that'll put me down 6. Okay.
Oh no, you leave your max at 6, and then you click the little dots to show how many you've taken off.
Not seeing any dots.
Right below the recovery.
Yeah, no, I have death saves there to the left, but
let me show you something. Let me show you this. I can do this right. Let me show you on the what I'm seeing on my screen here. So right here where it says recovery, right below it, there's a set of dots.
Yeah, I don't have those dots.
Wow, that is so weird. Okay.
That is strange.
Okay.
For the record, I don't either.
Why is that? What is going on? Why would the GM see this and not? I don't understand this.
I see those dots, so I've got them on mine.
That is
okay.
Wow.
Well, that is wild. So you took hit points.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do your icon rolls and get those resolved. Let's have you roll for your 2 rolls for the Elf Queen.
Okay. I see here. Okay, so a 6 and a 6.
Yes, it looks like you have 2 boons, 2 icon boons to use without any cost to them.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
And then roll 1 for the High Druid.
High Druid, and High
Druid doesn't care. He doesn't care.
It's all good.
All good. All right, so that gets us your character over. Let's come to Felnor. Felnor, it looks like you are back up at max, right? And how many recoveries do you have left? Oop, you might be muted. I can stop screen.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think I am at full.
Okay. Let's have you roll for the icon relationship with the Lich King. So nothing there. And then for the 3, nothing there. And then for the Priestess. But you do have 1 boon without cost for the Priestess. Okay. And then that brings us to Zelantha. And hey, it looks like you're also back up at full.
Yeah, I'm back at full. I'm not sure how many recoveries I've taken. D8 plus 0 max is D8 plus 0 max 8, but yeah, I'm not. I don't think I took any, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well, we'll just leave it at that. If you did take some, we'll consider it a magical gift of the Thanksgiving season. The boons of colonial oppression have given you an extra recovery there. So
I'll be thankful for that.
good. What did you take for your incremental?
I had forgotten to take what, so I think I'll just go easy and I'll take the +1 to 3 ability scores.
Okay. Let me drop back to Felnor for a second. Felnor, did you decide what you were going to take for your incremental?
You know, that is a good point. I cannot remember if I did that already or not. I am so sorry.
No, that's okay, because we had just advanced to third level, so this is your first incremental on the as a third level, so you can take from the fourth level picks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not do that
Okay,
yet.
yeah, take a look through and see if there's something that appeals to you, whether you want to feed or more HP or whatnot. Zelantha, let's come back to you. Let's have you roll your icon dice for the Diabolist.
Okay, I've got 2 there, so let's roll 2d6.
Look
Oh, I
at
got a
that.
6. Nice. 5 and a 6.
Appropriate given the demonic influence around this place right now. So you've got one with cost and one without. And then one for the Archmage. And look
Ooh.
at that.
I lucked out today.
Wildly overdone.
Almost a 666.
Yes.
Just went off.
Just went off. It's a neighbor of the beast.
665, neighbor of
Yeah.
the beast.
Yeah. So go ahead and keep track of that. And we will go to, then last but not least, our ranger, Adwin. Adwin, looks like you're back at full.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you take for your incremental?
I believe in my notes I took HP, and that makes sense because my HP is very high.
Oh yeah, it is nice and high.
Yeah.
Let's have you roll 2 dice for your relationship with the High Druid.
Okay. So a 5.
So yeah, one a boon with cost.
And
one
then
more
one
Diabolist.
for the Diabolist. That's a 1.
And it was a 1. Awesome.
And there's some benefit if we roll over some number of these.
If you have 3 of those icon boons that you've accumulated that haven't gotten used during a session, then you can say, I'm going to turn this in, and you get a reroll token for you can reroll on anything, attack rolls, damage, whatever. That is a house rule from our house table. Because we've got 6 players at the house table, there are a lot of people who forget to use their boons. So had to develop that system. But I actually have the nice metal tokens for the house thing. Of course, I got them just before the pandemic because that's the way that works. All right.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like a month before the pandemic, I bought a beautiful I bought a beautiful Fall of Magic set, and of course I have never used it.
My friend Chris had his board gaming table delivered the month before. All right, so some magic items were doled out last time, and we distributed those out, I believe. With necklaces and rings and all kinds of delightful things. So you've been making your way. Yes, Harry, it seems like you're going to ask questions.
I don't think we decided who got the items yet, because I was wanting to stump for Felnor to get that necklace because it adds to his saves, which since he's kind of our main tank, it'll make my regeneration a lot easier to.
Yeah, well, let's walk through
through.
those and figure out who has what, or confirm if people have already taken. We had the bow, a vulnerability. I believe that you have that, Adwin. Okay. And that increases your critical range by 1. And when you hit, it makes that foe vulnerable, meaning it increases their crit range to other attackers until your next action. There's the tunic, the spell thread shirt. When you cast a spell that targets yourself, you can store a copy of it. You can activate it for 1 round. I don't know if
I
anyone
have that on. I have that on my character sheet.
Okay, and that is the recharge on is 11 plus and base +1 to your AC. The necklace of last legs, which gives a +1 to saves and a additional +2 to saves when you have 1 or fewer recoveries.
Yeah, I want Felnor to have that.
Felnor, would you be okay with that?
The thing is, though, is I have like 9 recoveries. So
Oh yeah, but it's a +1 to your save, and any bonus to your save helps with the healing.
oh, but
Because-
isn't it until I have
But the base effect of it, is a +1. But then if you have very few recoveries, then it goes up.
oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That sounds good. What was it called? I'm sorry.
It's a necklace of last legs.
Okay.
And so that applies to things like rolling to disengage from a combat is considered a save, resisting ongoing damage is a save, all of those things. There's the Ring of the Thief's Eye, where you can close your eye and concentrate, and then you can see through the ring.
Oh, I had taken that, but I can definitely give it to.
Oh no, you can have it. It's all good. I just wanted to make sure you get the necklace. Even if I took the necklace, I would gift it to Felnor.
There's the Ring of Protection, which has a recharge 11 plus. Essentially, you can activate it and give yourself +2 to your armor class until the start of your next turn. It's okay. Anybody want that?
And we can have 2 rings.
You can have 2 rings.
Okay. Does anybody mind if I take that?
Sounds like the plan. And lastly, there is the Sword of Abandon. Base effect is +1 to attack and damage. And it gives you +2d6 damage with your first attack in each battle.
Wait, how many magic items can I have?
So right now you are level 3. So
it's-
you can use 3 magic items, essentially have them active and working for you at a time.
Okay, that would be my 3rd item. Does anybody else hang on a sec. Is that does anybody else want that or
No, take it.
okay, will do. Sorry.
Oh, that is perfect. So as you may recall, last time, making your way through this library, you entered in through through this tower that's fallen. You entered in through a flooded library. Did some work to rearrange things to get the water out. You kind of took a look a little bit down tower and then made your way up tower. You went through a room with a sort of a chapel, like some shrines to the gods. You found some dead wizards who had clearly been trying to do what they could to stop the fall of the tower, but had been overwhelmed by the magic, and in fact had taken feedback, and that's what had killed them. And from there, you moved into another room where you'd heard some noise, and when the door was opened, a set of constructs, clearly caretakers and animated constructs from the tower, kind of poured into the room and assaulted you. And you were able to dispatch them pretty handily. And you were able to find about their persons and in the room itself, the various trinkets and treasures that you now have in your hands. The room that you opened up into, as you may recall, had a kind of an open ceiling that the ceiling itself had kind of been torn open. You could see up there, it would be actually the side kind of the tower. And you could see what magical protections there were. That sort of magical field that it was in some places is over that gap. And you saw that the little bits of metal that had fallen like snow had kind of gathered up there on that. Out of this room, there are the doors going back that you came through, and that would be the chapel. And then there are two other doors out of here. This is the sort of the open room after the chapel. And you're still hearing the sounds of crackle outside. It's still coming through, even through the stone of this place. There's clearly still the magic stuff happening out there. I think at least once while you're kind of catching your breath and recovering, you'll hear like a thump and feel the tower kind of shake as clearly another one of those big floating slabs that was hanging and spinning in the air, sections of building, finally gives up the ghost and falls. And then you will see a shadow move across that opening up above. Like clearly someone or something moved past. What do you want to do?
That shadow that passed overhead, did it look like a big thing that was flying over, or was it something that was like walking on the outside of the tower, or can't we really tell?
It was a quick thing. It was hard to tell, but if you could get up there and maybe try and get a better angle out of that gap, you might be able to see. You suspect that if it's someone moving past, they probably couldn't get a very good look down into here just because of the light and the metal.
I'll I mean, I'd be happy to take a look. I'll try to be cautious and not be seen.
How are you
Not
going to
my
get up
strong
there?
suit, but that's a good question. Hold on a moment. Let me look at my resources.
What's the distance here?
So let's say in this room it's kind of tilted with the angle. Let's say it's maybe 20, 25 feet up to there.
I have some rope, so we could toss the rope up.
I can levitate.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh yeah, you
I
have
will
it as a
cast-
cantrip, don't you?
It's a utility spell, but I have
Okay.
the utility spell mastery. So for every utility spell I prep, I can cast 2 of them. And since I'm level 3, levitate's on the list. So hey, let's use it. I will cast levitate and float up.
You will float on up. I'm going to have you make a wisdom roll. This is not so much a notice roll as it is a notice and kind of keep yourself out of sight. Do you have any background you think would be appropriate for rolling with this?
Magical prodigy.
Yeah.
Beguilingly charming. Magical prodigy?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll go with that. You will float up there and kind of look out, and you can kind of feel the crackle. Like you maybe feel a little bit of the wind, like the magical force field lets something through and some others not. So you're getting like smells and a little bit of the breeze. And you look and you will see kind of running along the top of the tower, kind of who the figure that clearly just moved past is that dragon mage that you had seen before by the name of, I have his name written down here. Holy moly, I just wrote it down and now.
And we,
Rosorcus.
Zorkis, right? We'd had dinner with him at
Yeah. But you see him move along and he moves with some haste and kind of vanishes out of your sight. But then you kind of hear and you will see a group of figures kind of moving cautiously, like clearly the footing up there isn't particularly good, so they can't really run. But you see a group of like 6 very diverse folk. They have the look of mercenaries, and you will notice at least one of them is bearing the Diabolist's mark fairly visibly on their forehead. And it looks like they were kind of chasing after the warlock, but they've kind of stopped now that they've seen this gap here. And you'll see Libby, like one of them take out a bow and take a couple of shots that way, but seem to be more like just trying to drive him off than anything. What do you want to do? You've managed to see all this and keep yourself pretty concealed, but it looks like this group is kind of looking down. You see one of them maybe tap on the magic field and see that it's solid.
Just looking to see what else I can do here. Trying to think how to get a message down to my compatriots quickly, but then again, they probably can't get up here quickly.
You are levitating up there, yes.
Yes, I am. Oh, message is another utility spell. So
It is.
I'm going to cast message and send a message to Adwin. And my message is, and so this says, you can send 1 or 2 sentence message to another person you know. Sending a message to a person you can see is always easy. So, and I think I can like glance down and see Adwin down there.
Yep.
And I send the magical message, and trying to think what the effect would look like. I think it's going to just be like Zelantha's voice just kind of like appears in your head.
Okay.
Does it say? I was trying to see if it. Yeah. It says you can send a message. I think Zelantha's voice just appears in your head, and she says, and Lowell, remind me, what was the warlock's name again?
Reslorcus? Reslorcus, sorry.
Reslorcus. The message I send back is, there are 6 followers of the Diabolist up here. They are stalking the Dragonborn warlock Resorcus. Should I? Actually, I can't. You can't respond. So, that's 2 sentences. So.
So I think whenever I hear that, I turn to the other 2. And
if I could add, they don't see me yet.
Sure.
And I think I turn to the other 2 and I kind of whisper carefully so that I don't know how close they are, so that they can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I wave. So if I wave at you as if to come down. However, I don't know. It's obvious I don't know how levitate works. So if you come down, will you be able to get back up? That's your own decision. But I think I tell them, and we kind of head off. You said there's 2 exits. Is that right, Lowell?
There's the doorway you came through, and there are
Yeah.
2 other exits out of this room.
And I think
So. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, please go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, just for because I the player wasn't sure how this worked either. I just looked it up. So this is one of those things that it lasts as long as the battle.
Yeah, so you can keep a conversation going.
Oh, well, I meant the levitate because the question is,
Oh, okay.
how many times
Yeah.
how many times can I go up and down?
Oh, I think you could probably go up a couple of times.
And I
Okay.
think that I'm going to, watch you, and if you don't come down, I'm going to point in the direction of a couple of the exits and see which one you nod to.
Got it. I'll quickly come down and whisper. There's six of them. They're about however far they are.
Yeah.
Are they like right up there or?
Yeah, what you can see is in the meantime, you see them, they've stopped pursuing Rez, and instead they've kind of stopped around this gap, and they've kind of been like checking it out to see if that's a way in and see what they could see, which is not very much. And they clearly seem to be conferring about what they're doing. You can see the shadows kind of move back and forth. And you get the sense that they can't get through here. So they don't rush off. They don't like go chasing after Rez. They instead keep kind of moving maybe a little more cautiously. You can see them start to move off from that gap.
Now, when I was up there, could we go through from this side, but they couldn't come through from the other? Is that the sense that I got, or was I,
You
or
have
was I
no
like,
I don't think you would have reached up to touch it necessarily. So I'm
That's
not
true.
sure if you're certain about what that is.
Got it.
So I think I'm going to whisper, we shouldn't leave them at our back. However, if we can get the drop on them, before they know we're here, it might be hopeful.
Can you do that message thing to Rez Lorcus?
Alas, I'm only able to do it once. I wasn't sure if we should. I wasn't sure if. Yeah, I wanted to keep an eye on those guys, see if they're going to try to come in here, but.
And that was a good idea. I mean, we certainly don't want them jumping us. There's almost twice as many of them as there are of us.
Well, at least we know where they are. I mean, we can try to get through this room or the other room and keep a close eye on our back as we move.
Lol, could we tell from where they were going if they were like which side, if they were trying to come down to perhaps investigate this magical barrier again? Could we tell which side of the tower they were coming down? In other words, could we guess which opening they're going to come into and like be waiting for them?
So they were heading like as you are, kind of up tower. So you're not sure where the openings are further up. There's some cracks on the underside and things that you've seen, and so there are some rooms that have access that way. But you really didn't look at the far end to see what was going on there. But they definitely, given the direction, they aren't going to come back to the entryway that you went in to the library unless they kind of double back. And there may be another entry up further.
Could I float up? I'd like to float up one more time and just kind of get another assessment of like where they're going and if I can see if there's another opening ahead, or would I have to pop my head through the barrier in order to do that?
You would have to pop your head through the barrier, but you could try to do that. You have no idea what that would do, whether you could pull your head back.
Yeah, that could be a problem. I'm going to float up there. I am going to, and using using a mundane piece of equipment.
Okay.
I can name it if I can think of something to name it with, but
You have an iron spike.
There we go. I was going to say a 10-foot pole. I'm going to float up there again, and I'm going to probe this magical barrier with this, with a tool. I'm not going to try to touch it.
I think when you poke this against this side of it, the iron spike will whoop through the barrier.
Okay. Kind of pull it back down?
Yes, you can.
What the heck? I'm going to I'm going to peek above the peek above the wall and see what I can see.
Absolutely. Why don't you make a wisdom check here for me? Again,
Uh,
as much as
would
anything, yeah.
Would magical prodigy work here as well?
Yeah,
Or
you're working with some weird magical shit. So yeah, that seems fair.
not bad. 27.
Not just a 27, but I believe that is a nat 20.
That is a nat 20. You're right.
So you will see them go down a ways, and they seem to stop. And they're kind of looking at this next area, like the next one of the next rooms connected, and they're kind of examining, like maybe like they're looking to see if they can get in through a slat that's there, but they seem to be having trouble with that.
Okay. Can I tell? Can I tell which direction that we would go to basically be waiting for them in ambush?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see, kind of, you judge that heading through one of these doors out of here is going to lead you to the room that they're trying to get into.
Okay. I'll float back down and tell the rest of the party that, and suggest that we go there and wait for them to come in and let them have it.
Yeah, Diablos need to go.
All right. So you will move to one of these doors and open it up and kind of take a look in, and you can see that there's kind of an odd shape to this room. You'd seen some of this from when you were looking at the tower, kind of down the tower, that there were some places that were kind of pushed out in odd shapes, almost like extensions or balconies kind of out from it. And you can see that when you get in here, that the room kind of bows out like a bubble on one part of it. The rest of the room is there, and there's some doors out of. There's actually a door out of here that goes up. But what you see is there are all kinds of metal instruments and materials and things lying all over the place. There's broken glass everywhere, and you can see that the slat that they're trying to get open on that bubble is has some mechanical fastenings on this side, and it looks like this must have been some kind of observatory. Like, those hatches open up, and you can see that there are telescopes and things that have kind of fallen in various places that would have looked out through that gap in the room. You can see there are astrological charts, star charts, astrolabes. There's an Ori, beautifully made, that is bent to hell. All the little planets, all broken and askew. But certainly with your eyes, it looks like there's a lot of very valuable metal in here. You can also see that there is a trail of blood that goes over to one corner of the room. And there's a chalk circle that I think you'll recognize as a wizard teleportation circle. So somebody was in here when this came down, injured, but was able to teleport out of this room. You'd guess that the one doorway that goes upwards that you see probably leads to the roof. Like that's the next area over. Must be the sort of the top of the place. There's a smashed up window that kind of angles down towards the underside of the tower, and there are a couple of other doors off from here. So you can hear them, scrabbling at this mechanism. We haven't heard from Malin for a while. Malin, what are you doing now that this decision for an ambush has been decided?
He's gonna try and find a place that has any type of cover that he can use, and try to get Adwin to come with me to try and get her a good vantage for shooting.
Yeah. So what kind of thing are you looking for?
Anything that has any type of really good angle on the slat that they would come through, and just provide cover for while firing.
Okay. Yeah, I think that seems easy enough. Let me throw some rubbish on the table here. Quickly throw that around in various spots here. Let's see. And throw that on the table, and let me throw some like lab equipment. Or let's see what we can find here. Let's put a.
That's interesting.
Yeah, let's put that'll kind of represent like some of the mechanical instrumentation there. And let's see, anybody else? Right, here we go. Put a table or two out here, just to make it a little easier to work with.
Okay, yeah, a table, then that I'm going over towards the table and I'm upending it on its side. I've got an 18 strength, which is wiry
Oh,
old man strength.
Yeah, that's so weird, your strength.
Yeah, to make a nice little, I don't know,
I'm going to
an ambush blind.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Let me cook. I'm going to put over here sort of the gap that they're going to come in through. Okay, now I will move from the map to the objects and token table. So go ahead and position yourselves where you think you kind of want what to be relative to that opening that they're going to come through.
So again, the opening is that like oval on the side?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll basically be here, kind of hiding behind this table or whatever it is.
Okay. Let me grab some tokens for these people.
And while we're sitting there waiting, you do notice that Millen's gaze kind of wanders over the various metal instruments and stuff like that, almost to the point where he's like, not even looking at the slat where they're coming in anymore. He's like more interested in the telescopes and stuff that are all lying around.
An amazing array of equipment here. And Felnor, how are you kind of positioning yourself?
I think I'm trying to just get behind that broken equipment there, and just be ready to like intercept if they go for one of the range people. Or maybe, depending on how initiative goes, like come out and hit somebody, etc.
Okay, copy these. Give me 1 second to get the rest of these folks on the table. Whoop, wrong page. And let me get them their nameplates. So you all will get yourself set up in that position there. And it will be a bit of a wait. But then that will kind of open up. They kind of prise it open, finally kind of crack the mechanism, whatever kind of lock is holding that open. And imagine that now it's kind of this observatory sort of sliding long panel that gets opened up. And they look in, and you'll see two figures clamber in. One of them is in heavy armor, and you see kind of a crackling around him as he steps in. The other one floats in. And you have the sense that the rest of them are kind of waiting to see what is going on. Two of the ones that are up there have bows and are kind of standing there. The other two are just kind of looking in. So Feldor, I think you're the closest person. And so in some ways, it's your decision about like how far you want to let them get in or what. Does that seem fair? So that is the question. How far do you want to let them get before you like let loose?
I think I'm gonna wait at least a beat to see if my friends open up.
Okay.
If they start shooting, and then I'll I don't know what these
in
people
that
are
case, you're the closest right now, Felnor. So I would like you to make a kind of a stealth check here with dexterity.
Okay.
And while he does that, I think Edwin turns to Maylin and says, maybe we should have talked to them first.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have and don't we have an ex-Diabolist with us? Yes. Isn't Zelantha? Wasn't she a part of their group or at some point?
Yeah, and she's an enemy now.
Yeah, but I don't know that we know that. And we're just sitting there chit-chatting while, yeah.
Yeah, I got a 20.
Okay. So you are keeping yourself pretty quiet there. Let me do the add turns for these people here real quick. So the question then becomes, for those of you who are range combatants, you see these two figures come in and they get a ways into the room. Felnar doesn't seem to be moving. When are you going? When are you doing things?
I was going to wait until more of them came in because I was planning on throwing a spell that could hit up to 5 people, five bad guys at once.
Okay. So
But
I think
I'll do something else if things happen before then.
Yeah, I'm just worried about them having a spellcaster there on the outside and tossing in fireballs just willy-nilly. So
you will see one of the archers climbs down in, and then one of the other figures climbs down in. There is still the one who looks like she has some tiefling blood, as you do, who is out there, and the figure with the Diabolus tattoo on his head. And they are looking around, and this floating figure will float to the middle of the room, and then begins to glow.
When he
that might
starts
be
to
a
glow,
sign.
I think that might be the sign that it's time for us to act.
Okay, let's have all of you roll initiative. You're going to get one essentially free round here. I'll roll their initiative after this first turn in case you kill one of them. You can go ahead and put your initiatives into the turn order tracker. Just remember to hit return after you've typed the number in.
And if you have your token selected when you click the initiative button, it should add it automatically. That's a trick I learned when I'm using. That's a trick I learned from my Pathfinder game on Roll20.
Oh yeah. So, Adwin and Scruffy.
I'm not going to start this off. I'm going to hold until something else happens.
Okay. Maylin, are you also holding?
Actually, Malin actually has a short bow.
Okay.
He's not very good at this, but I think he's gonna just hold with Adwin, and I'm gonna be aiming at the same person that Adwin aims at, but he's not holding the bow very steady.
That seems fair. Let's then come to Zelantha.
Well, then I guess I'm going to be the bold one. So when that mage starts glowing, I'm going to pop up from behind that table, and I'm going to cast a spell. She utters arcane words that have that, like echo, kind of have, the sound effect is, like she's speaking through an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And she, makes a few gestures, and several of the tattoos on her face glows as she does this incantation. And suddenly, 4 like demonic-looking, like humanoid creatures appear around her, each armed with a bow. Each of these demonic archers draws their, and they're clearly not really there. They're clearly made of some kind of like magical energy.
Right.
They each draw their bow pointed at each of the 5 points at a different of the targets. So I'm going to target all of them except the tiefling.
Okay.
Because there's 6 of them, and I can target up to 5. So I'm going to send one at all of them except the tiefling.
Okay.
They draw their bows, and when they loose, it's like an energy bolt.
Okay. So is this
So-
versus PD or AC?
It's +7 versus PD.
Okay.
So this is volley. So this is, volley of the infernal archers, or force bolt.
Absolutely. Let's have you roll first versus the cultist.
Okay. Okay, so that's 17 versus PD.
That will hit. Let's just make a note and then we'll have you roll damage on that. And
Okay.
then versus the spell soldier.
Second one is a 13.
That will miss.
Okay.
And then on Dracos,
15.
that will miss. And then on Ashwine,
Another 15. I'm not rolling well.
not great. And then on Zark,
That's a 25.
that will hit. So let's
I'd-
have you roll damage on the ghost cultist.
$19 points of damage.
19 points of
Force
damage.
damage.
Nice.
Force damage, if that makes a difference.
Okay. And then on on Fell.
22 points of damage.
Nice. That bolts will fly out. There'll be shouts as this happens and kind of illuminates the room. You hear Fell shout a curse, the kind of Diabolus curse that you remember from your apprenticeship there, Zelantha. Let's come back to the top of what would have been our initiative order, back up to Adwin.
Great. So there was a cultist and fell were the two that were hit.
Yes.
And I assume this is the cultist here.
Oh, so I guess you're not seeing the little notes on them, are you?
We are
I'm
not.
I hate this. I set that as the default, and it doesn't show you the thing. Let me get the names here so you can see them. 1 second. I should have do this again. Nameplate. It should show that. Okay. Token emits light. I don't know why it is not showing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry, they've changed this a little bit since I used it last. Can you now see the name on the ghost cultist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a little thing you have to click on player permissions. I guess says that's so you can hide what they're fighting.
So cultist and I think it was Kel were the two that were hit.
Yeah, Fell is one of the two that is standing up outside
Okay.
there. Okay. Hopefully now you can see everybody's
Yep, I can
name.
see all that perfect.
Okay.
I probably can't hit Fell because he's so far back and there's a lot of cover, but I can probably hit this ghost cultist.
Oh yeah, the ghost cultist is out in the middle of the room getting ready to do some kind of spell,
Yep.
and is certainly targetable.
And that's the one that Zelantha kind of went after. So I'm going to try and hit that one.
AC is a 19.
Okay. Let me just roll that. I got a crit on one of those.
What?
So actually that would be the first one. And then if it's even, yes, then the second attack also rolls. And that's a 15 on the die, so that'd be 15 plus. I'll have to figure out exactly what that plus is. I
I'm
think
pretty
it's
sure you
plus
hit.
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one, do we roll double
Listen-
damage or do we roll and double it?
Roll and double it.
Okay. So I think that my damage is 3d6 because I'm 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 11 points, doubled is 22.
22. And then the next hit.
Let me make sure. I think. Okay, so I can attack the same one. I'll have to reread that because it's been a while. So
Sure.
let me roll my damage on the second one. That is only 9 points of damage.
That thing is staggered.
Okay.
As all kinds of things hit it. Do you want to resolve Scruffy?
I do. So I think Scruffy will go up and attack it and gets a bonus to hit. +1 to attack enemies I've engaged with. And that is a 4 on the die. So that misses.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's come to Malin.
Okay, so when you described the room, you said it used to be telescopes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything up on the ceiling, like a part of a telescope or any
Oh yeah, there's probably
semi-large piece of metal?
apertures and armatures
Okay.
and things.
Okay, so what I want to try and do is I'm going to spend my Elf Queen token and it's do something awesome is on the list. So let's see how this goes. Instead of shooting right at him, he shoots the arrow up and knocks down some of the big chunks of metal. And I want to like land it if I can, like something to block the way here. So they'll have to either come through Felnor or come through this way. So it's like
Interesting.
hopefully block right here.
Oh yeah, I think that is, and you spent the token to do that.
Yeah.
So I think you can. Let me get this. I can find something good for this.
Yeah. Battlefield control.
Yes. Here, I've got something that's really weird that will shrink down to kind of represent this weird armature thing that comes crashing down off of the ceiling. How does that?
Yeah. That was
Blocks
awesome.
them off. So does that feel like your action?
Oh, yeah. That's definitely.
Felnor. You see the bolts fire across, this thing come crashing down off of the ceiling. And what do you do?
I think I'm gonna go attack Ghost Cultist here.
Okay. Can easily move up on it and make an attack.
And I'll use my new magic sword.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, there's always that. And what's your bonus on another window?
Okay, so I got a 20 versus AC.
That will hit.
And then I do 1 extra point of damage because of the sword, and then I have the extra 2d6 for my first hit.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
So a total of 26.
And that will drop this cultist and you will cut it down. It crashes to the ground and there is shouting all around. Let's take, so before we get into the combat too deep, let's take our first break here. We'll come back, we'll roll their initiative, and we'll do escalation die at 1. Okay?
Oh, sure. Is it okay if Felnor yells next?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry. I'm done.
100%.
Sorry.
And I am going to screen share, just in case there might be anybody watching this video. So you can see the beautiful map. By the way, I'm a person who's backed various Patreons with beautiful maps, and then I draw this bullshit. So I feel a little bit bad, but we've got some cool tokens on the table, and it's a little bit easier to work with. So I'm going to stop the share. So even with their high initiative rolls, Adwin, you are still top of the order. The escalation die is a 1 for all the elves playing at home. Let's start with you.
Okay, so our little target there is gone, and the spell soldier is kind of behind cover. So I think
Yeah,
I
he's a
can
little
move
bit
over.
blocked right now.
Yeah, I think I can move over to here and get a shot between that thing at Ashwine.
I think you can get a shot at any of them from that position.
You think?
Yeah,
So this debris that's right here.
it's just like I imagine that it's probably at most waist high.
Yeah. So I think I'll take a shot then at Fell. Yeah, I'm going to take a shot at Fell and see what that looks like.
Okay.
So, and that is a 15 on the die. So that's 22.
So that will hit.
Okay. But because it's odd, I do not get to re-roll for another attack. And that
Oh.
is. I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I think you do D8s for damage.
No, because he does the double attack with the ranger.
Oh,
Sorry.
no,
yeah, it steps the damage down a bit. I thought that I got that mixed up at first too, but then I realized what he was doing.
Sorry.
Yep. And I think I got 12 points of damage. And then Scruffy. If I don't know, can I hold Scruffy until I see where Felnor goes to kind of back him up?
Technically you're supposed to have him go right after you just to keep the simplicity of those.
Yep.
Those
so
things.
Let's do that. I'm gonna move Scruffy. Is it too tight in here for him to come? It's probably too tight for him to come in here. So
he's a wolf. I think the wolf can get over the debris right now.
So I'm gonna put Scruffy here, and he's gonna go after the spell soldier here.
Okay.
And let's do this is +7. That's a 25 to hit.
That will hit.
Scruffy does 2d6.
Okay.
For 8 points.
Okay. So he 8 points. When Scruffy gets up at him, there is a crackle of lightning, and Scruffy's when he engages in combat with him is going to take 5 points.
Okay.
Spell soldier, since Scruffy is the target of opportunity, is going to roll to hit. What is Scruffy's AC?
Scruffy's AC is 18.
And the spell soldier will hit for 15 points of damage.
Ooh, okay.
Crackling, it's the effect, both the sword and the lightning that is kind of crackling around him. And there'll be that kind of singy smell when that hits.
Okay, and that staggers Scruffy.
Fell, who you hit, will look up, sees you, and he will raise his hand, and he will fire off a beam of darkness at you. What is your MD?
My MD is 14.
14. He will hit you for 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And that's an even, so he doesn't get the additional effect from that. Malin.
Okay. I think I'm going to move to here. Can I get to there?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and he drops the short bow, behind the desk or whatever it is. He's getting his spear out while moving over there. I'm gonna see the way that the regeneration spells work is it's an interrupt on other people's turns, so I have to wait all the way through the initiative before I can put a spell on Scruffy. Or would you let me cast a normal regeneration on Scruffy on my turn?
Well, let's see. We've already gone through one turn. So yeah, I think we've already set that up. So you can do the regeneration on him.
Okay. So that means you get to spend a recovery to roll a half recovery for Scruffy.
Okay, perfect. And I'll do that. And I need to look up to see exactly how Scruffy's healing works because it spends my recoveries, but I want to make sure that it gets the healing.
You use your recovery dice,
Uh-huh.
but you spend your recoveries. So he essentially gets a recovery like you would at that spend. You'll roll and take half of it now, and you'll take half of the on Scruffy's next turn. And then we check and see if it rolls over.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
you said the escalation die was at 1.
One.
So let me roll my Elven Grace.
Elven Grace.
Nope. Okay. So so will that regeneration be my only action, or
That was an interrupt, right?
Yeah.
Now the interrupt, does the interrupt spend your action?
yeah, see, that's the thing. See, it's a very weird timing issue, like crunchy wise. I was just gonna say use my action to just spend regeneration, because you can use it as a quick action on yourself, or you can use it as a trigger when an ally goes. But it makes the timing really funky because it basically lets everybody get hit a whole bunch real quick, and then you hope the healing will catch up.
So I do think that does take your action though for that that round. But if you have
That's
a
good.
quick action you want to do as well, you could do that.
Okay. I set my spear for a charge.
Fair enough. Felnor on 18. You've dropped this ghost. You've shouted out next. And your allies have kind of like funneled the opponents. They're going to have to either come around the far side, back behind this thing, up this way, or they're going to have to come around this way, because this is all sort of blocked here in the middle.
Okay. So I can't really get to the spell soldier very easily.
Yeah, you could run over and kind of vault the rubble and get over there between Scruffy and Ashwine and do that if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any foe that is near, you can get to on an action. It's just that for the bad guys, they've kind of like, in terms of where they can get to, has kind of been narrowed because they're not going to jump over the rubble because they don't know what's on the other side.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, I will swing at him then.
Okay. He's already taken a little bit of damage from Scruffy.
Uh, 17 versus AC.
That will miss.
Okay. I believe I can carve an opening.
Sure.
So I will do that.
And you do 3 points of miss damage.
Oh, yeah, and I also have Grim Intent.
Uh-huh.
Let me double check here.
Sure.
Sorry. It's been a while. I should have brushed up.
That's okay.
Let's see. Fire. Here we go. So let's see here. Grim Intent. The next time. Oh, did I roll an even number?
You
I did
rolled
not.
a 9.
So I cannot do Grim Intent, but I can do carve an opening.
Okay. You will take some damage from the lightning field.
Okay.
You're going to take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Zelantha.
Couldn't find my cursor to hit the unmute button.
Oh, fair
Okay.
enough.
So this is probably not the most effective thing, but I want to do it because because I think it's going to be cool. So what I want to do is, so I have cantrip mastery, and one of my 3rd level spells that I prepped was a cantrip as a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Which I can do. So I want to cast a 3rd level version of Mage Hand to grab Fel, pull him through, and slam him hard into the ground.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I don't know what that looks like. I don't really know how that. I don't really know how that's going to work. But
I think it's an attack versus PD to
Okay.
essentially create a status on him that he's going to have to save on his turn from.
Okay.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, it seems fair. I was, thinking about, trying to grab him and slam him into the ground for some bludgeoning damage, and also get him close so he can't cast
Well,
spells.
how about this? If you can do it, then he will be essentially. There's a condition that gives him -4 to AC to attack and defend until he can save. How about that?
Okay, that works.
But you need to hit his PD first.
Right. So what do I click for that? 'Cause I don't actually have this prepped as a spell, so anyway, so it's gonna be 20. And so that's plus my level, plus that's going to be plus my level plus my ability mod. So it's going to be +7. Plus the escalation die is 1. So it'll be
All right,
D20 plus
need to hit a 19,
D20 plus 8.
but you need to right out roll with the slash.
I thought I had the slash there. Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, hell yeah. So your mage hand goes over there. He's just let that blade darkness thing, and you will grab him, yank him, and slam him down. Essentially come crashing. He didn't see it coming, doesn't know what hit him. He is at -4 to his defenses and his attacks until he can make a save on his next action. Zark is going to stay where she is at, kind of actually probably duck back a little bit behind there, but she will fire off a fireball at you, Felnor. What is your PD, Felnor?
Let's see. It is 16.
16. There's my crit.
Ouch.
So you are going to take 22 points of damage.
Okay. All right.
She absolutely lands that firebolt right in your back. You can feel your armor heat up. And she's like, yeah. And then she sees that you don't go down. And you maybe hear a oh from her at that point. Ashwine is going to move over behind this table, and she is going to try to light you up with a couple of arrows, Malin. So what is your AC, Malin?
AC is 16.
Okay. So a hit and a miss. You're going to take 10 points of damage. Dracos is going to run over to you, Zelantha.
Fair enough.
And he draws out this sickle. What is your AC?
Gee, surprisingly, the wizard's AC is not particularly high. That would be 14.
So he hits you with this sickle for 17 points of damage.
Ooh, ow.
And you can see that the sickle drinks your blood. That was the second round. Escalation die is now a 2. Adwin. You are muted.
Sorry, just talking to myself. I'm going to move up kind of behind Scruffy. I'm going to shoot at Dracos.
Okay.
Because that's not good. Our mage is our friend.
Yeah,
I rolled that would be 20 versus AC.
that will hit.
Unfortunately, I rolled an odd on the die, so I don't get an additional. That is only 9 points of damage.
Arrow goes into his shoulder. He kind of looks over, but he's still concentrating on this sorcerer.
Yeah. And
Scruffy.
Scruffy would have to roll a disengage to get away from the spell soldier,
Yeah,
correct?
and you can roll the disengage. And if it doesn't go off, you can just do your normal action. There's no cost
Okay.
to attempting it.
So let's do that.
11 plus.
So I got a 16.
So yeah, Scruffy can disengage and attack somebody.
Can Scruffy go over where Dracos is?
Yeah, it's nearby. So yeah.
Yeah. Can he still attack?
Oh yeah, that's a move action.
Okay. So he's going to attack. Ooh, and roll a 4 on the die.
So that is not going to hit, but now Dracos has another foe that he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah. Oh, and on Scruffy's action, does he?
Oh yeah,
does
he gets the
regeneration-
gets the other half of that regeneration.
So I don't re-roll it,
No, you don't re-roll. You just take
Okay.
the other half,
and I save,
and then you roll a save.
and I got an 11.
So yeah, it will continue on to the next round.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice. When the Druid regeneration works, it is really sweet. Spell Soldier is going to turn to face you, Felnor. And he's going to cock back with this and hear the lightning crackle across his blade as he tries to bring this down on you. What is your AC?
20.
20. And that is going to just miss. He tried to do his big swing, which is not as good for him to hit, but it like shatters, crackles into the stone when the sword hits there. Fel is going to make a save to stop being. Oh no! So he can still act, but he is at a big minus to attacking and so on. I think he's going to take a shot at you, Millen. What is your PD?
PD is 15.
15. So this plus 5 with his minus. Oh, he will hit you though. And so he is going to do 10 points of damage. And you're going to take 4 points of ongoing cold damage.
Okay. So let me write a reminder on that.
Sure.
Okay, from 4. So each round I take 4, but I get to save against it, or
Yeah. So you'll take 4 now.
Okay, so 4 more.
And then at the start of your next round, you'll get to make a save. And if you make it, you don't take the ongoing.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
Yeah, no, this is where I definitely need that Elven Grace because I only have so many actions I can do. Okay, so escalation die is at 2. And hey,
Oh,
a
yeah.
1. That means I get 2 standard actions this
That
round.
you do.
Okay.
Fel is still at a -4 to his defenses.
Yeah.
So right now you need a 15 to hit him with an AC attack.
Yeah, I think for my first standard action, I want to get a heal going right now first.
Okay.
So let me throw out my encounter wild heal, and I'm gonna aim that at Felnor.
Okay.
So he can spend a recovery, and then it's one random person that's hurt, which is Adwin, Zelantha, or Scruffy. We'll get the other one.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a d4.
Okay. 4.
So who's at the bottom of the list is Scruffy.
Okay. So we can use a recovery for him.
So Felnor, you get a standard recovery. Scruffy, you get a standard recovery. And that was your first action.
Yeah, that's my first standard action. For the second standard action, I'm going to I might as well take the shot while I'm still up.
Okay.
I just throw my spear straight at Zell.
Okay.
All right. And it's not a melee, so actually no, that's gonna suck. Really bad. A spear has reach. Can I step over to here and stab Ashwise or Ashwine?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just
She's
For
an
math
archer.
purposes.
She'd have to disengage to shoot you.
Okay.
And she hasn't been injured yet.
all right, so melee basic attack and escalation dies at 2. So I add the 2. 17 versus AC.
That is not going to hit.
Okay, yeah.
So
Bad roll.
3 points of miss damage.
Alrighty. So that's my 2 standard, but yeah, as soon as Filner goes, I'm going to interrupt with a greater regeneration on him.
Okay. So Felnor, how much did you get back from the recovery from the wild heal?
13.
And so where are you at right now?
Let's see here. 47. So that's 47 out of 60.
Okay.
So,
So go ahead, Harry, and resolve your wild heal.
It's just a greater
Oh, ju-
regeneration.
oh, just greater,
It's
good.
he spends 2 recoveries. He gets to roll 1 recovery, and you get all the full amount and stuff. So it's just a souped up regeneration, and hopefully I'll get over to Zelantha here before she goes down. It's Druid healing is not easy.
No.
so I roll another recovery. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Sorry. Let's see.
No, that's
here.
okay.
Huh, that didn't come out. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm back to full.
Oh, you're back to full. You'll get to roll another recovery on your next turn. And do mark that you've used 2 recoveries to do that. And immediately after that, you get to go, Felnor.
Okay, sorry, I'm having trouble with my character sheet here.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, I will attack the spell soldier. Let's see. So yeah, I got a 20 in toto.
That will just hit.
So let's see. 26 damage. I get 1 extra 1 for the magic sword.
26 damage. So he's taking that. So 37. He is staggered, but still up.
Okay.
You take
And
1
me-
point of damage from
let me
his
see if
electrical.
my new maneuver works.
Okay.
Oh, okay. On the natural even roll, what did I get on the die here?
You got an 11.
Okay. Yeah. So no go on that.
Okay. You just carve an opening, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's see. I take 1. How many points did you say?
Just 1.
1. Oh wow. Okay.
A little bit of static. That's all.
Okay.
Zelantha on 17.
Okay, as a quick action, I'm going to cast Recoiling Touch of the Balor, which
Okay.
is Shocking Grasp. So
Okay.
that's going to hit him
Oh,
and
that's
will
right.
pop him back.
Okay.
But I have the
So-
feet, so this is a quick action.
Perfect. So he is popped free from that as the shock hits him.
Yeah, and well, I have to hit him first. 18 versus PD.
Okay.
And if that hits, it does D4. It does if that's a hit, it'll do D4 lightning damage.
Okay.
So did that hit him?
An 18 will just hit.
Nice. Okay, he takes 3 lightning damage, and I'm popped free.
Okay.
So I'm no longer in direct melee with him. And I'm going to follow that up with what's the name of that spell? Jubilix Caustic Effluvia.
Ugh.
Yeah, so a poor, oh God, and I rolled a 3 on the die.
Now, do you have a boon?
I do have
Don't
a boon.
forget, do you have a boon without cost? Because you could spend that.
I do indeed have a boon without cost.
What icon is pushing you to do better?
Um, that's going to be the Archmage.
Okay. Then you may spend that without cost and take that reroll.
Let us try that again. Well, better. I mean, in terms in that a 6 is better, and that rolling a 6 is better than rolling a 3.
So you will miss, but that's still 5 ongoing acid damage on Dracos.
Yes.
So 17, 5 ongoing. So kind of splatters, but doesn't hit him as well as you would like. Sorry.
He saw the portal. He saw the portal open above him, and like only a few drips fell on him before he definitely ducked out of the way before like a big, the big sticky caustic glob falls off.
Ugh, perfect. Adwin, what is your AC? Oh, sorry, PD.
18.
18. You see Zark kind of survey this, sees you kind of popping up to take some shots, and is going to take a shot at you. And will miss with that. Essentially, lets loose with another firebolt towards you and misses. Ashwine will attempt to disengage from the spear user and will not, and will have to swing the sword at you. What is your AC there, Malin?
16.
16. So will hit, but only does 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Escalation die becomes a 3, right? A 3. And Adwin, you're going to kick us off here.
So first question is, can I force feed a healing potion down Malin's throat?
You can spend a quick action to give a potion to another person. Yes.
Do you need this, Malin?
I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause
So I'm gonna hand up a healing potion, so a quick action, so I'll step up next.
Okay.
And then I am gonna pop Ashwin in the face. And let's see what that looks like.
Okay. So Malin, you'll do a standard healing potion recovery, which is I believe your recovery plus a D8. Adwin, you're
so you actually rolled a recovery? Okay.
you spend a recovery,
Okay.
and you
get
roll the
D8.
recovery and add an additional D8 to the recovery.
Okay.
And to hit Ashwin, I rolled a 10 plus 7 is 17, plus the escalation die is 20.
That will hit.
Okay, so let me roll that damage, and that is an even, so I'll get another hit. That's 12 points.
Okay.
And I'm now going to shoot at Dracos across the room.
Okay.
Oh, but that'll miss because I just got a 2.
Okay. Fire that off. Scruffy.
Oh, and Scruffy will attack and roll a nat 1.
Oh.
And doesn't have any damage, but I'll roll the save just to see if the regeneration stays. It does
Yes.
not. That's a 3, so I'm good.
Okay. Spell Soldier. Still up there engaged with Felnor. Don't think he has any reason to. Let's see. We'll try to disengage first.
Oh, I add +4 to his difficulty.
Ooh.
Because of my fighter ability.
Yes, he is unable to disengage. You see him try to pull back, like he's trying to get in a position to let loose with something, but he's unable to do it, and he's forced to just take a standard swing at you. What is your AC? 20, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. So that will hit for 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Nothing fancy, just a slash with that blade. Fell will attempt to recover from getting his ass knocked over by Zelantha. He does. He stands up. And let's see what he's going to do. He's got his allies right here. Scruffy's there. We got that sorcerer. Let me. Okay. I think he will. Move behind here and take a shot at the ranger. What is your AC, Adwin?
20.
20. Oh, but a 5 is not going to do it. So he will fire off that shadow bolt again in your direction and will miss. Malin.
Oh, all right. So the escalation die is at 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to step up the die for my grace. So 1d8 and 1. So I get another 2 standard actions.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's see here. Okay, so for my first standard action, I think I'm going to still try and stab Ashwine because it can actually power my healing if I can get the right die roll.
Perfect.
So let's go with that. Oh, and the window always hides itself sometimes.
Yeah.
Where did you go? Okay, or it just broke. Okay, so let me pull up my sheet and just roll the 20 slash. Okay, 4 on the die roll is not going to do it, but that does let me activate my resilience. I think it's I get 5
Okay.
temporary hit points, and I got a small damage shield for
All right.
2 attacks against AC or PD.
And it took 3 points of miss damage. And your second action?
Yep. Let's see here. Okay. And then I'm going to put a wild heal aimed right on Zelantha. So she'll get to spend a recovery. And this will use up my daily wild heal.
Okay.
And then anybody else who's damaged in the party is got an opportunity to get the heal too. So that's Adwin, and I don't know if Felnor is down any hit points.
A little bit, yep.
Okay, so it's between Adwin and Felnor.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
Okay, 3.
So Adwin.
Okay.
And
So I get to roll a recovery.
Mhm. And same thing for Adwin. If you want to spend a recovery, you can roll that. And we come to Felnor. Escalation die is a 3.
Okay. Am I engaged with Fel, or is he just kind of next to me?
He's sort of behind that pile of garbage there. You're pretty much engaged with the spell soldier right now. Though, if you want to roll a disengage, you could do that.
Okay. No, I will just hit the spell soldier then.
Okay.
Yuck. Okay, so
Do you have
that's a
any
total of 13.
tokens to spend?
Yeah, also let me just check on. Okay, so I rolled a 3. Yeah, I do have my boon without consequences with the priestess.
Would you like to spend that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and I rolled lower this time.
Oh,
So yeah, I will attempt to do Grim Intent. Let's see here. That
Okay.
is oh gosh, is this even? Yep. So I get to do 1 die plus my miss damage.
okay.
So that is a D8. Yeah, so that's 4 damage.
4 damage.
Also, real quick, he has greater regeneration on him, so if he's down 1 hit point, it'll still pop off. He's already spent for it.
Yeah. So it'll you'll get a hit point back. And
Then we roll up the next round, I think.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I am down 11. So
Okay.
Do
Plus
I-
another 5 for the lightning from this guy, actually.
oh okay. So and then I get 1 back, did you say? Or
You'll get a regular regeneration roll,
oh
like
okay.
a
And
recovery.
okay, so that spends recoveries, right?
No, you already spent
not this
those.
time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is your free one.
Okay, let's see here. Let me hit the right button.
Sure.
Sorry. 17.
Ooh, nice.
Good. Thank you.
Nice. Zelantha. Do you have ongoing?
What's that?
Do you have ongoing damage? Somebody had ongoing, right?
Oh yeah. Dracos had ongoing acid damage.
Okay. So that'll resolve on his round.
Now he didn't attack me. He hasn't moved since I hit him, so
You are engaged.
I
So
am
you
engaged.
can roll to no,
I'm not. I mean, I popped free with the shocking grasp last round. Did he attack Scruffy, or did he attack me, or did we forget about him?
I don't remember. So we'll say that you're not engaged because I didn't make that clear.
Okay. Well then, I am going to move away from Dracos.
Okay.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over here. Question on like what's near versus far is
Everything on the map right now is near.
okay. Well then, I am going to cast. What did I call that? Flash of energetic radiance, which is
Okay.
lightning bolt.
All right.
So first I roll to see how many enemies I can attack. I can hit 3
Okay.
that are in a group or a line. So I think I'm going to cast it at I think I'm gonna they're in a lovely little line here, aren't they? I'm gonna hit Zark, Fell, and Spell Soldier.
Okay. Let's have you roll for Zark first.
Okay. And escalation die was 3, you said?
Yes.
I'll add 3 to that. So 14 versus PD.
That will not hit.
Yeah, well, I did roll a 4. I've not been rolling well this game so far. Next one
Fell.
versus Fell. That's an 18.
That will
versus
hit.
PD. Yay. So that does 30 points of lightning damage.
30 points of lightning damage. He is barely holding it together on that. And then on Spell Soldier.
18.
18 versus PD. And what was your natural roll?
Natural roll was an 8.
Okay. So he will take half damage
Okay.
because he has essentially lightning resistance.
Okay.
But go
So-
ahead and roll 78 and we'll have that.
Whoa, now that's a roll. 39 points. So
Even
half of
with
that.
him being made of lightning and energy, that will blow him up. And between that
That's-
damage and all the damage that Felnor has laid into him, he will come crashing down.
Doesn't Zark also take half damage? Gonna miss.
I miss.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, right. Oh, I forgot about that.
So roll Zark's half damage. Jeez, holy moly, you.
Wow,
So
man, I've been
18
rolling.
points.
My 20s have not been, my D20s haven't been rolling great, but my damage dice have been great.
That's wild. Okay, let me remove the spell soldier from the table. Put this thing back. Yeah, spell soldier drops and others crack with the lightning energy. Zark is going to light you up, Zelantha. What is your PD?
Not great because wizard. That's 13,
All right, she is going to fire a fireball.
of course.
Plus, so that will hit for 15 points of damage. What's
Ouch.
Scruffy's PD?
16.
But that will not hit. So half damage means you'll take 7 points on Scruffy as she lets loose with that fireball over there. And she is yelling out Diabolist curses from that hit there.
You know what? I'm going to shout some Diabolist curses right back at her.
Okay. Ashwine is going to try and disengage from you and will succeed. And so she's going to try and put a couple shots in you, Malin. AC?
16.
1 hit. 2 hits. You're going to take 20 points of damage total.
Okay, let me roll my resistance rolls against them.
Oh, yeah.
I
that's
have
right.
I need a 12 plus. So for the first one, nope. And then for the second one, I should just roll both. And no. Okay. What was the total again? 20?
20 points of damage.
20 points of damage. Okay, so that's one off there.
All right. Dracos is going to try and disengage from Scruffy. And he will. And he's going to chase you down, Zelantha.
Can I try to intercept that?
Yes, you can. That's your ability. Absolutely.
Okay.
You have well, you're not even engaged with anybody, so you can just do that freely.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yay.
So
Thank you, Felnor. I have 11 hit points.
Okay. So Felnor, you make your fighter engage, and Dracos will run up. You get in the way of that attack. What is your AC?
20.
20. He will hit you for 17 points of damage. But it's an even roll, so he doesn't do his additional effect.
Okay.
Brings this sickle, catches in your armor. That's the end of that
I think
round.
this is when he takes the. I think this is when he takes the ongoing acid damage as well.
Oh, yeah.
is on his move.
So he takes
That's,
that. Thank you. So that's Dracos. So it goes to 22. Let me roll his save from that. Yes, he will save. So that will not go on further. And escalation dice of 4, Adwin.
Okay. I'm going to attack Fel first.
Smart.
13 does not hit, correct?
That will not hit, but you'll do your miss damage, right?
Yeah, so that would be 3 miss damage.
Okay.
and that is a 2 on the die, so that's even. So I'm going to then attack Dracos. And that is a 3 on the die, so I assume that will not hit.
That will not hit, but you'll do
Miss damage.
this
And then
damage.
Scruffy will step up to
I-
attack
I will
Dracos.
say that Fell is on his last leg, like he is teetering, just to make this choice more difficult for you.
Okay, Scruffy will go over to Fell just to try and take him out. Because Felnor's there for Dracos.
Absolutely.
And 20 versus AC.
That will hit.
Okay. And now Scruffy could roll low enough. He doesn't do enough. No, that's 7 points of damage.
Fell has kind of stood up, and you see him kind of raising his hand to do that dark bolt, and then from the side into the panel comes Scruffy and drops him down. And
Okay.
there's a kind of a last anguish cry as he drops. Spell Soldier is gone. Fell is gone. We go straight to mail in.
Ooh, okay, so I forgot about the ongoing damage from before, so I took 8-4 last round, and I
Okay.
have to make a save to see if it goes up again, so roll. And nope, so it's gone now.
It's gone.
All right,
Fine.
okay, now escalation die is at 4. I step up to a D10 for Grace, and 10, so I only get 1 action this round.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay. I'm going to move out of the file. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna move up to here and re-engage Ashwine.
Okay.
Escalation die is 4, so
Yep.
1d20 plus 11. Okay, 16 on the die.
Oh,
finally,
yeah, you will
27,
hit.
so let's see here. So that's gonna activate. Okay, I do 3d8 plus 4. Okay, do 12 points of damage,
12 points
And-
of damage.
and I activate. I think it's called Wild Harmony. So when I send off my next regeneration here, I'll get a bonus to it.
Perfect. Felnor.
Okay, I am swinging at Dracos.
Okay. Escalation die is a 4. Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
that's a 30. Let's see. Oh,
You rolled a 19.
yeah, which carve an opening, from what I understand,
Raises your crit range. Yeah.
so should I just double my
Yeah.
damage? Okay, so that's a 42 there.
What does that look like when you just this half elf Diabolist has been running around with this sickle and light armor, you've been tearing up your mage, and then you kind of step up, he gets one swack at you, and then what does it look like when you drop him?
I'm thinking, he kind of gets his sickle stuck in my armor a little bit. And then I kind of shimmy a little bit and chop his arm completely off at the shoulder.
There'll be that, and he will just collapse to the ground.
And if Felnor's hurt, he gets to roll a free regeneration, and then he has to roll to see if he gets the free regeneration if he's hurt.
Oh, that's a save?
Yeah, 11 plus.
What did I do? I thought I hit a die. Oops. I hit the question mark instead of the
That's
die.
okay.
Oh, just missed
so-
it.
Just
Oh, I have plus
Oh, yeah,
one.
plus one.
plus
to
one
save.
saves.
Yeah, so you
Yep.
get the, and this is free. You
Nice.
don't have to spend for this recovery.
Okay, thank you.
And then right before Zelantha goes, I have to interrupt and throw a regeneration on her.
Okay.
And this is a bonus one, so you get to roll. It's a half recovery, and you add 4 to it for my wisdom bonus.
So that's roll over recovery, apply half,
Half,
but then
and then
add
plus
but then add
4.
but then add 4 to that. Okay. Well, cool. So my recovery, I rolled a 14, so that's 7 plus 4.
Nice.
So 11. Thank you.
And it's your action.
You doubled my hit points.
What are you gonna do?
My turn. Okay. I am going. I am all out of my uses per day spells at this point. So I think I am going to cast. I am going to cast Boreal Beam of Casitas at Zark.
Roll to hit.
Escalation die is 4.
Yes.
That is a 26 versus PD.
Okay, that will hit.
And that's going to do 12 points of cold damage.
That hits her. Ice crackles across her. On 15, you'll see her step back and cast, and you'll see her jump away. And she did, like, before you hit her with the ice bolt, she was going to say something like make a gesture or be rude or something like that. But the second the ice bolt hits her, she's like, I'm out of here. And she runs.
I was going to say, she's seen 4 of her friends like eat it. So yeah.
The archer Ashwine drops her bow.
I just keep the spear on her.
Let's take for a second break, 5 minutes, and then we'll come back. So this mercenary drops her bow, puts her hands up. You can see she's eyeing, she's kind of like doing the assess, this, you're a very weird looking adventuring party. So she's kind of doing that, and she's kind of stands there, waits to see what happens.
Well, I guess I'm going to make a few steps toward her. Malin, I assume you're still holding her.
Oh yeah, old man has got the
Spear
spear
point.
to her.
I'm going to like cross my arms and take a few steps toward her and say, so I've left their grasp, but so how did you fall in with a bunch of diabolists?
It was work.
Mercenary, are you?
Yep.
So let's pay her some coin.
Or have her pay us some coin and then or have her pay us some coin and tell her to go.
What was the job that you were hired for?
There were a number of us who were hired by some shady figures, these things. We were to wait for transit. We were told that we would be heading into the aftermath of an attack, and we were to move through the ruins and dispatch any survivors that we found. And we got here and we saw that this was much bigger than we expected. So we started to do our job, but also look around to see if there was anything that we could salvage. There are a few other handfuls of people like us out there scavenging around.
So why do you work for bad people?
Does they pay well?
Huh. I don't know. I mean, if we just let you go, you're just gonna go work for bad people again. I mean, you know.
might have a solution.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, I just said I might have a solution, but
What's that?
slightly. He reaches into his pouch and he pulls out another one of those butterfly tokens that you saw before, and he kisses it, and he spends my second elf queen token, and I'm going to give Ashwine a touch of elven serenity. So it's not taking choice away from her or anything like that, but it's letting her see all of her actions for her past lives. All those memories come flooding back, and it shows how she might be able to, turn her life around. And
Roll me a d20.
all right.
Let's see how for good or ill this is.
9.
Okay, should kind of stagger back from that.
I don't think it's taking.
It's up to you all what you want to do with me.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll walk away. I mean, it's not like there's any governance left around here. But, if you want to tie me up or secure me, I understand.
Maybe we're gonna become the governance.
So what else can you tell us about who hired you?
I know from what I saw, there's some high level Diabolists, a couple of sorcerers. They called in some chips, as I understand it. And there was a big attack on this thing. There's a couple groups moving around. They're trying to finish off the bastions. There's one or two apparently defense towers that they're trying to crack open to get at some things. But they're further in.
So I'm going to go over to Zelantha and I'm going to say, what we have here is a witness who can directly tie this to the Diabolists. Otherwise, it's just hearsay. The other part of this is they've told us that there's other groups here who are trying to take out survivors, and we need to, we need to see if we can make sure that they protect us. That we can protect the survivors.
See, Ashwine kind of thinks clearly this sort of whatever Malin has done to her kind of gotten under her skin, and she says, the reason they're trying to take down the bastion towers is because they did something to block this whole incident from the Archmage's sight, and they need to take those down before that spell that they did to hide all this breaks.
Oh, so this was all hidden from the Archmage's sight. Interesting.
There's something about this place. That's what I heard, that there's lots of concealment magics, and they just tore some of the magics from around this area and used it to conceal and kind of redouble it. The place was already hidden from what I understand. They just kind of messed with that to drop it off the map.
That's probably the concealment magic that we found out, in the Jester's place. They probably repurposed part of it.
That would make sense. That would also make sense as to why a section of that concealment spell wasn't working properly. Interesting.
So, do you know where these other towers are?
I could probably draw you a map of the path that we took down where I saw one of them, but you're going to have to head up the hillside into more of the burning wreckage here.
I procure some paper, a pen and ink, and sweep off some of the debris on that table that we're hiding behind.
She
Yeah,
will.
I'm starting to think maybe I like you more than I originally did, and you're probably not going to have to lose an arm like that guy over there.
See her stop with the pen, and she goes, I don't think that you would hack the arm off a person who had surrendered.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Have we met before?
No, I'm just
I think-
judging.
I think you're. Oh, okay. Maybe I met you before and you know me.
No, I
Okay.
just
Okay. No, you're right though. Maybe it would just be a couple of fingers. I'm sorry.
he will. Why don't I get to this drawing here? She'll-
The Zelantha just smirks at that.
Life is short, child. Make better decisions in the future.
What he said. That guy's smart. Listen to him.
she'll say, there's a case outside on the roof of stuff that we already looted. I very much doubt that Zark would have been able to take off with it. And she will start sketching out this map for you.
While she's sketching, I'm happy to basically guard her if someone wants to go like look for the loot.
Can I get up there?
Yeah, you discover that you can actually, if you climb up, put a rope up there, you can climb up out and get to this. They came in through that gap that they pulled open, so it's not that hard.
Okay.
And you can find a case with some stuff in it. Why doesn't everybody roll me a d20?
$15.
15.
9.
11.
17.
17 for Harry. Okay. So there are a set of interesting trinkets here and some actual magic items. You will find a beautiful bottle of rich purple polish. Looks like kind of wood polish. Looks very expensive. Like you could use it for lacquer. Has a kind of a magical hint to it. You will find a very nice custom set of bookbinding tools. You will find a set of stoppered vials that appear to contain smoke. They look like smoke bombs, essentially. And then the last thing you'll find of those things is a box with lots of cut-ins on it of different shapes. And it looks like it once was like a very fancy multi-page coin collection. But in the like drop, all the coins have fallen out of their holder places. So they're all like in the bottom of the box for this thing. But there are items of some power here. Okay. There is a helmet that is the Mitre of Might. Has a little sort of religious look to it. It is +1 magic defense, +1 MD. But when you're wearing it, whenever you make a strength skill check, you roll twice and take the better result. That there are a set of gloves that are +1 PD. But more importantly, when you concentrate on them, they become invulnerable to heat and pressure, as long as you're concentrating on them. 15. There is a half cloak. It's a shield, but it acts. It's a cloak. It's kind of a cloak, but it acts like a shield. So it takes up the shield slot. It also gives you +1 to your PD. As a quick action during a battle, you can set it to resist a particular energy type, like fire, ice, lightning, or whatever. And then for the rest of the fight, it gives you a resist 16+ on the energy type. And
It's pretty nice.
Which means if they have to roll a natural 16 or better on their hit, or else you take half damage if they hit you. That has a recharge of 16+ after the battle. And then there is, last thing is a Ring of Resolve. Has no base effect, no default bonus, but you can essentially spend a recovery to prevent all damage from a single attack. That has a recharge of 11+. So once per battle. If the attack has like extra additional effects, it doesn't negate those, but it negates base damage and ongoing damage from the attack. And there's probably some coins, some gold in there as well. There's a lot of very valuable magical implements and things laying around in this room that you've come into that could probably easily be salvaged and traded, even in their damaged condition. Anyone want to call any of those items at this point?
I would say either Zelantha or Maylin should take that ring. Because that would, save your bacon if you got stuck someplace and got hit.
Yeah, I think the mage should get that one because
Sounds good.
that was the one who was most dangerous to go down. I mean, with that low hit point pool.
I am happy to take that one. What was that ring called again?
Ring of Resolve.
I'll put the info in the chat.
Okay.
I typed down. What about Felnor takes the helmet that for strength checks? Because you're the strong one, right?
Actually, Bolin is stronger than me.
Strangely.
So,
Do you want to take that, Malin?
yeah,
And yeah, sure. No,
and it's the MD boost too.
that'll look good on him.
So that leaves the cool gloves and the sort of half cloak shield.
Do you have a preference, Felnor?
Well, let's see. If I take another magic item, I need to drop one.
Well, let me actually tell you. So the thing with the magic items is essentially magic items that you're bearing and using and so on. If you take the gloves, you can keep them in your pocket until you need to use them for like a situation where you need to put your hand in something.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll take the cloak then.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect.
And Ashwine will finish up and hand you a rough sketch map of what some things that she saw on the way down, kind of leading up towards the higher levels there of what was Crown Hill. And she will say, I swear on everything that I know that this is the truth. And this is what I have seen.
Where will you go now?
I'm going to try to get out of here. I know there are other things around and about, and I'm going to try and make my way away from this place, if you'll let me do that.
Sure. Do you want any of these other people stuff? I'll pick up the arm with the sickle. Do you want this sickle?
No, I don't. I'll pass on that. A lot of these people are more tied to the Diabolist than I am. I don't want to be carrying around their
Would
equipment.
you,
I'll
would you
throw
like
it over
to?
my
Fair enough.
Would you
Fair
like
enough.
to earn some coin?
How?
Well, there's going to be a lot of people that we're trying to protect going forward. A lot of innocent people, and we might need people who can hold their own in a fight, or might be willing to stick around. It's a fair wage for a fair job, if you could be trusted.
Well, tell me where to go. I'll go and I'll wait there for you to finish up here.
Because weren't we? I can't remember because it's so long ago.
Yeah,
On the
no,
thing, but
you'd actually kind of now that you've kind of gotten this place cleared out, you're hoping to use this as a staging place.
Okay, so then, basically we're going to be using this location. So you make yourself useful.
Like direct her back to like the library area where we first came in and basically have her guard the place.
Yeah, and so when the other people come in, that there's at least somebody who's an actual warrior of some sort to protect them. I mean, I think I see good in her. I mean, there could be, but everybody should have a chance to do better
Agreed.
in their life.
I mean, agreed. I left the Diabolist's fold.
Says
They are not
I'll
good people.
I'll follow down the tower and I'll wait.
Excellent.
I hand her a small bag of the gold because I don't really need money. So here, mercenary's wage for mercenary's job.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And she will gather her things together and her supplies together and head and follow your directions and head back down the tower to wait and secure that library.
So those other Diabolists that we defeated, did they have anything of interest or value on them?
I think they had the usual stuff. I will say that let's establish that you can get a healing potion for each of you poached off of them, and a rune that can be applied to a weapon or armor. As you may recall, runes are a one-use item. They essentially give a bonus for a fight and kind of have a random effect. So everybody can mark one each of those. And I think we'll see you all kind of gather yourselves together and head and kind of look at this map and look up into the haze and the fire, but you can see and hear in the distance that crackle of lightning, and maybe even see some shape that might indicate that that's where you're headed towards, up this hill through this
Got it.
wreckage.
Should we take a long rest? Should we take a rest before we do that? I know I should probably review my spells.
I
Yeah,
will
'cause-
allow you all to take a full rest. Means you may recover everything before you go into this big final thing, and you may take 2 incremental advances.
Two
Two.
advances. Nice.
But we can also resolve those at the start of the next session. You don't have to decide on everything now. So I think that's where we're going to stop. Feels like a good breaking point here.
Yeah.
Let's do quick round of stars wishes for stuff you like this time and things you want to see next time. Can I start with Harry?
Stars all around. I think everybody is doing a good job at role playing this, and plus we're coming back from a pretty lengthy break, so just trying to get back into the things. And I love I love Felnor in everything he says. His timing is perfect. Zelantha, your usage of spells is really good, and you got lovely names for every single one, and it's always a surprise to see what's going to be popping out. And I think this was more of a tactical episode than anything else. And I think Edwin, he did a really good job of making sure all sides were covered, and you saved my butt there, because for some reason, well, druids, it's like you're always on the edge when you're healing in this way. It's just like, you saved us there. And wishes, I'd like to see what that dragonborn guy is up to. I want to find out what his deal is actually.
Absolutely, we'll bring him back on stage next time. Darren?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I do appreciate people being patient with me. I kind of forgot how to run my character a little bit there. I'm sorry.
No.
I appreciate that. I don't know. People did a really good job of running their characters during the tactical part. I kind of feel like Adwin is like the rational person. So when Felnor acts like a child, Adwin is really good at just kind of being like, oh, yeah, or like redirecting him. We could do this. Also, Mullen kind of does that too. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was a fun session. Wishes, I don't. Yeah, I was thinking about our Dragonborn friend. Might be neat just to see a little bit about what's happening with all the village people. Wait, phrasing. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
my
we'll
two
get a
cents.
little bit of some sights and things, people on the journey up to this bastion. Mike.
Well, again, stars all around. I think I always enjoy playing with you folks. This is a whole lot of fun. Darren, again, I just love Felnor's kind of both naivete and also just like deadpan humor. That's just fantastic. I just love that. Adwin, I really like that we see. I'm at least seeing that you're kind of becoming sort of that Adwin's sort of becoming the party leader. I know Zelantha's kind of looking to your lead. And I just think that's kind of cool how like the party dynamic just kind of organically goes in one direction or other. I just love the and Harry, I love the kind of like dotty old man with flashes of what's the word I'm looking for? Just the distracted kind of like batty old guy that occasionally is just like moments of prescience. I just think that's great. As for wishes, I also want to see what our Dragonboard friend is up to. I also am because I believe next week is our final session.
Yep.
I would like to at least I'm hoping that we'll come to some sort of like interesting conclusion, maybe a cliffhanger or something, but find out what these bad guys were up to and put a stop to it or undo undo some of the badness that they did. And hopefully, let the Archmage know that this happened and that hopefully we'll be able to get some backup and hopefully some backup that'll help with the refugees and the people that were killed in this horrible tragedy.
Awesome. And Stephen.
So I guess my star is it's so great to be back. I really enjoyed this game. It was a lot of fun. It was great seeing all of you again. And that worked out pretty well. I really enjoyed the interaction that we had, just like everyone else said, so I won't belabor that. And I agree with, I think the wishes that everyone had said. I'd kind of like to wrap this up next week. That should look good. I think it'll be fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all very much. I am going to stop the recording.
Thank you, Lowell, for running. This is really a lot of fun.
Good.